What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Sam, and I am back with another video. I got a lot of energy for you guys today, so I hope you match the same. Make sure you subscribe so you can follow on this journey, so you don't miss a video, so you can support the channel and give me an opportunity to learn from you. Make sure you like to show the video support. Let people know this is what they need to be watching. Make sure you comment so you can give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys want me to improve on. All these little details. I will be in the comment section. I will be liking, I will be commenting and responding as well. Okay? And most importantly, make sure you share. You got to put people on. You got to let people know. But if you noticed in previous videos I mentioned, just because you put people on don't mean they're going to be receptive. And that's okay, because in order to really digest what I'm saying, you need to align with what I'm saying. And a lot of you guys are aligned, okay? Especially if you watch my previous videos, a lot of you are aligned. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna discuss many topics today, okay? This video is not gonna be too crazy long, but expect to see a similar background for the future videos because I'm trying to stay consistent. I will stay consistent, okay? So I'm gonna record multiple videos in one sitting so that you guys have content and I can drop a video, daily. Now, believe it or not, I'm on vacation, right? Enjoying myself, enjoying the beautiful breeze and the palm trees, the nice sun, the luscious grass, the beautiful pool, the nice beach, right? Now, I tried recording this video before many times, probably 6 or 7 times, right? When I just touched down, I just arrived last week. Unfortunately, I came across many issues, many obstacles, right? We talked about obstacles before in previous videos and what you need to do when you come across these obstacles. And you need to push forward. Because it's the small, tiny obstacles that's enough force, enough power to stop you from reaching your ultimate goal. I gave you many examples in previous videos. If you don't remember, go back and look at it. But just to give you a small, minuscule example, right? If your goal is to make $1 million by way of the stock market, and you need to download a brokerage app such as Robinhood, not sponsored by Robinhood, but Robinhood, if you're listening, sponsor me, okay? And you're going to sign up, you don't have Wi-Fi, and you say, never mind, I don't feel like doing this. You just blocked your $1 million goal, your $1 million blessing, right? So that is why it's very important that you push through, and all the tiny obstacles, understand that they're gonna come. It's not gonna be as planned, and what's gonna separate you from your higher self that you're trying to reach is the ability to push through those obstacles and get to that. And now we're gonna talk about alignment. We talked about alignment before, we touched on it just a little bit. We will talk about alignment again in a whole nother video. This video is something completely unrelated. I tried recording this 5 times, like I said. It's meant to be because I'm making it meant to be. I cannot quit on the first try, but I didn't, right? Said storage was full, I had to delete 500 videos. My mic died on me. I had to charge it for 2 hours. The sun set on me. I had to reschedule for the next day. My phone died. And these are all things that I kind of prepared for, right? So if you're somebody who prepares, yes, that is what makes you different. That is what separates you, from your lower self. Now, I've learned, and I've learned the hard way, right? As I preach, I gotta practice. I made sure my phone was charged. I made sure I came out here in a timely manner. I made sure my mic was charged, okay? And I'm here to provide you guys some content. So, today we will be discussing stock splits. Now, what is a stock split? Some of you have heard stock splits before. Some of you may not have heard stock splits before. A lot of you are like, what are you talking about? Get to the point. And I'm going to get to the point, okay? So a stock split, okay? Take company A, for example. You are invested in company A. You own 1 share of company A. Company A's share is worth $1,000, and the company decides to do a 1-for-10 split. Now, it doesn't have to be a 1-for-10 split. It could be a 1-for-10 split. It could be a 1-for-5 split. It could be a 1-for-3 split. It could be a 1-for-2 split. But for the sake of this example, we will discuss the 1-for-10 split. So for the 1-for-10 split, Essentially, you have 1 share of company A, you split it into 10 shares. Now that doesn't make the value of those shares remain the same. However, the capital you have invested remains the same. So what I mean is that 1 share that you have that is now 10 shares is not $1,000 each, like the one initial share that you had, but it is $100 each. Okay, so it equates to what you had in it before. Now, for another example, for all of you that can't seem to understand what I'm saying, if you do a 1-for-2 split, you take your 1 share, they give you 2. So now each share is worth how much? Because you have 2 shares, you invested $1,000, you got it, $500. If you didn't get it, don't worry, rewind this video, pause it, rewatch it again. And that is why YouTube is great. Okay? So, with that being said, Company A decides to do a 1-for-10 stock split. You take your 1 share worth $1,000, split it into 10 different shares. Each share is worth $100 each. Now, why would a company want to do that? Huh? There are many different reasons, okay? Some of the reasons, but not all of the reasons. One of the reasons is the company likes or wants to be more appealing to the retail investors, okay? Your average retail investor may not be investing $1,000 in a particular company to buy 1 share. With that being said, instead of missing out on those potential investors and keeping their market cap stagnant, they want the amateur investors or the retail investor, your average retail investor, to be able to invest. So in order to be able to do that, what they do is they do a stock split. So the value of the company remains the same for the exact split. However, it becomes more appealing to your retail investor, especially if the company is doing well. So now someone says, oh my God, Company A, I've been wanting to invest in Company A for a long time, but it's been trading at $1,000 a share and I don't have $1,000. But now a split happens, you believe in the company, you've done your research, you looked at charts, you've seen the trajectory, you looked at earnings report, and so you invest, okay? It may not be $1,000, but it could be as small as $100 to get 1 share, 1 whole share. Fortunately now, a lot of the brokerage companies that we use, such as Robinhood, allows you to buy fractional shares. So you can actually invest however much you want, and it gives you a percentage of a particular share if it's less than that share value. Okay, but we're not talking about that. We could also save that for another video. So make sure you do what? You subscribe. Okay, a lot of you guys learn. So with that being said, Company A, you were initially invested in Company A. You had $1,000 in Company A, so you have 1 share of Company A. Company A says, hey, we appreciate you as an investor, but it's a whole lot of other investors out there that we want to be invested in our company. We want to raise our market cap. We got a lot of big ballers in here, and that's okay. That's great. We like big ballers, but we also want people to just be able to invest at a very entry level. And so that is why they may do a stock split. There are many other reasons why they do a stock split. Stock splits are not always good. They may do a stock split if the company is going bankrupt. Company is going bankrupt. They need people to invest. And so they may do a stock split as well. However, this may not be a traditional stock split, not the traditional stock split that we talked about, but it may be the reverse stock split. Yeah, exactly. What is a reverse stock split? You guessed it, a reverse stock split. A reverse stock split is the opposite of a stock split. Okay, let's say you own 10 shares of Company B. 10 shares of Company B is trading at $100 a share. Company B decides to consolidate it and make 10 shares 1 share. Or kind of like I said before, instead of making 1 share 2 share, you can make 2 shares 1 share, or 3 shares 1 share, or 5 shares 1 share. You get what I'm saying, okay? But for the sake of this example, they decide to make 10 shares 1 share. Now, why would Company B want to do that? Can anybody guess? I'm waiting. To stabilize the company, okay? To stabilize how the stock trades. Maybe there are too much amateur retail investors. Maybe people are treating it like a penny stock and they want to stabilize it, and they don't want people day trading the stock. At least not as much, right? Because it all depends on how much capital you have. Stock could be $1,000 a share and you can still day trade stock. Now, if you've been watching my videos, if you've been subscribed, if not subscribed, if you've been subscribed and you watch my previous videos, You've seen my video talking about penny stocks. It's one of my most viewed videos, by the way. But the channel is early, so this may not apply later on down the line when you watch this video. But as it stands right now, my penny stock video is my second most watched video. My first most watched video is my video talking about the importance of capital and consistent deposits. If you haven't watched that, pause it and please go watch that. Come back to this video. Yes. So a reverse stock split. Company B, you own 10 shares, each trading at $100. Company B decides to consolidate it, make 10 shares into one share. Now you have one share at $1,000. Do you have more money? No. Do you have less money? No. Not directly from the split or reverse split. However, retail traders, other investors, they're going to react to this, okay? They may think that this is good for the company, and which is good. They may be bullish, and this can be your chance to get on the bandwagon, because like I said, when it comes to stock market trading, the bandwagon is a good thing. Only thing is, you don't want to get on the bandwagon when it's too late. You want to get on the bandwagon in the beginning. Not too early, but enough to where you have confirmation. You see the crowd going and you go. Not the crowd has arrived and you go. No, absolutely not. Okay. But with that being said, that is why a company would want to do a reverse stock split. Yes. So now, watching this video, you understand what a stock split is. You understand what a reverse stock split is. Now, whether you want to trade before a reverse stock split or trade before stock split happens, that is up to you. What is the intentions of the company? Is the company going bankrupt? If you're going bankrupt, stay away. It is another scheme to get more capital before exiting the public stock exchange. Okay, you do not want to be a part of that. Okay. However, is the company, does it plan on reaching new heights and opening up to investors because they just have a lot in store and they want to increase the market cap of that company, right? If it's for that reason, and it's going to be your best judgment, okay? Because I already told you, take news with a grain of salt, and we talked about news before. Go watch my video, Fake News, if you haven't watched that, right? And essentially, yeah, just really understand what the company's intentions are and use that to your advantage. Okay, we've also discussed being able to capitalize if a stock is going down. So even if it is bad, you can still capitalize off of that during an options trade. In this case, it'll be doing a put option. Okay, essentially betting or placing insurance on a trade, capitalizing off of the fact that the price of the share is going down. But we're not going to talk about that. Right, I've referenced looking at previous videos before many times in this video. With that being said, you need to subscribe. We want to grow. With that being said, look at me being a hypocrite. I've been telling you guys to like, comment, share, subscribe, but I haven't really set a goal, a subscription goal. Right now, as we speak, on this day of April 28, 2026, beautiful day in the evening, I have 9 subscribers. Yes. I know a lot of you guys are shocked, like, oh my God, you have 9 subscribers right now. You have this many views right now. Maybe not early on, right? So if you come back to this video, I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to have a whole lot of views in the future, but I will drop videos. I will remain consistent and I will have a whole lot more views later on down the line, and that's a fact. But with that being said, make sure you take that. Make sure you follow along this journey so you can be here from the beginning. Okay, so we can make this our community. Very excited for that. Okay, so I'm not going to talk your head off too much. Now you know what a stock split is. Me personally, I like stock splits when companies are doing well. It gives me the opportunity to get more shares, right? It's very much more easier for a cheaper stock to double than a more expensive stock to double. So that is also a very good opportunity for you to invest more capital, use it as higher leverage to essentially get a higher return on your investment. With that being said, in other words, it is easier for your stock to go from $100 to $150 for a stock to go from $1,000 to $1,500. Okay. Yes. With that being said, that is why I like stock splits. Now you could pretty much have the same effect when it comes to penny stock, but just understanding how penny stock moves. What are the overall goals of this company? Is the company going bankrupt? Are they planning on getting off of the public stock exchange anytime soon? These are all just things to consider. Okay, so hopefully this video recorded. If you're seeing it, they recorded with no issues. I have audio. My phone didn't die.